Hello, students. Once again, I would like to welcome you for this communication workshop for the Silicon City College Bangalore student, first year MBA students. And it's a privilege and honor to conduct this workshop to all of you. I hope you will learn many good things out of this session. As I mentioned, feel free to take as much as notes you can. That way you'll be able to refer to the notes at later stage. Okay. The main objective of this session is just to share some insight about how to improve your communication and the importance of communication being as a student at this stage, and how this communication will take you to the next level when you get into the corporate. Okay, I have a lot of various other insights to share across, including my own personal story. I would like to share about the objective, what we will be carrying out of this. So the learning objective is, out of this session, the next 45 minutes, what you will learn is how to improve verbal, your speaking, and also your written skill. The reason why these two are really important is, in your corporate journey, these two come into picture. When I say these two, it's about your verbal, the oral communication, what you interact with your boss, your manager, your fellow colleagues, and also your written communication, because you need to write a lot of mails. You got to write a lot of written proposals. You got to write memos. You got to work on project charters. You need to work on too much things on your written skill, written as well. So these two are important. So the learning objective, I'll see to that to cover that you are able to learn these two aspects. Okay. And what do we got on the store? So there's a quick agenda I put across. We'll touch base on the two forms of communication. Next is about the thoughts and words. Why, for someone to speak, what it really needs. Okay, so that's about the thoughts and words. And the third is about the communication barrier. This is where many students are really suffering, because they have the barrier inside, and which is not really making them to go forward. Okay, and also I thought about something about self-confidence building exercise, which I did all by myself, which I will share, and also the real life example. What had happened in my life and how I improved it, and what are the various other things. And also, I just put across some email drafting tips. You can take a screenshot of that. So when you get a chance, of course, you will have there are some assignment also I put across. So you will have to work on that assignment, the email drafting. You'll have to send that to your HOD, and then the closing thought. So these are the various other agenda we have. How many of you like this agenda? How many of you quite excited about the learning? Can I see the thumbs up? Can I see the thumbs up? Everybody who are sitting in the class, can I see the thumbs up? Oh yeah, that is good. Okay, without much ado, we can just quickly get into the main session. Before I start, I would like to give a quick stat. This research was conducted by one of American big university. They did a quick stat, and the stat is this: what is the percentage of people suffer from communication problem? Alfred, do you know the answer for this? Alfred?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
Yes.
What is the percentage of people suffering from communication problem, Alfred?
I'm not aware of
Oh,
the
you're not.
exact
That's
percentage.
fine. That's fine. Don't worry. I will give you the answer. Anyone else in the classroom? Do you know how many percentage of people suffer from communication problem? That's fine. If you don't know the answer, here I am to give you the answer. The answer is 74% of the people are suffering from communication problem, which means if you say, sir, I have this communication problem, then don't worry. The majority has this problem. Okay, when the majority has, you also if you are the part of the majority, so you can safely assume that you're also part of it. But I don't want you to be part of the 74%. Rather, I want you to get out of the 74%. That's why here I am to teach some of the important information for you, how you can develop your communication skill. Yes? Next. additional one more question I would like to ask before I start. Generally, I ask question just to pick your mind, just to instigate your mind, your thought process, what it is all about. Okay, there are top 10. There are top 10 things which people really fear in their life. Okay, I've just put two. I put the two a fearful thing. What is the world number one which people fear about? Alfred or Atya, you can say your answer if you know. What is that? The first fearful thing. Oh, you know what? This is I'm really quite scary about this. What is that first thing?
To communicate to others.
I'm sorry.
To communicate to others.
Nervousness.
Okay, nervousness. Atya and Alfred say nervousness. That is the right answer per se, but that is your second number two. The first is about the death. Yes. Oh, everybody gets scared about this one thing called death. Yes or no? Yeah, even
Yes.
an old granny who sits on the who lie on the deathbed. That lady, 80-year-old lady. Oh, no, I don't want that. So that's a number one fearful thing which people fear about, which is nothing about the death. And second is what you talked about, fear to talk in a group. You see, this gentleman put some nice plaster and he's looking like that. And I don't want you guys, when you go and sit in the interview, when you for your job preparation, I don't want you to sit like that. I want you to just take that plaster and sit with complete confidence and you speak what you have in your mind. Yes, that is my sincere wish as well. Yep. All right. Well, there are two types of communication. So these are the basic thing I would like to share across just to open up the learning. Because generally I don't teach things from 10,000 feet high. I like to teach things from the basic, because that is where your foundation, you need to understand what is really fearful, or how many people are really suffering from communication, and what are the different types of communication, what are the language barrier. So that's my way of teaching, because those teaching will go deep in your head, deep in your mind, and you'll remember that. Okay. But there are two types of communication. How many types? Two types of communication. One is through your verbal, what I am speaking through my words. I'm exchanging my ideas, my thoughts by speaking through my words. Yes. By the way, this constitutes 45%. And there is one more type of communication. Any wild guess, Atya, or anyone in the classroom can do a guess, or Alfred for that matter, or Alexa for that matter. What would be the second type of communication? Any wild guess?
Written.
Not really. Not really. I heard the answer. What is it? But that's a right. That's the right answer. But anyway.
Listening.
Okay. So the second
Okay.
is called your non-verbal. See, when I'm communicating with you, am I speaking as if like a standing in a statue and you know what, there are two types of communication. One is verbal, one is not. No, I'm not doing that. There's so much, my body is communicating with you. And I'm just making some of the action. It's not just I'm doing it as if like a real action, as if I want to. No, I'm not doing that. Rather, it's part of me. When I something saying, my hand is automatically going that I'm saying from my heart. And you got to think. See, those are the body language. And this constitutes 55%, friends. So when you're sitting in the interview, I want you, don't sit like a statue and just say your answer, yes, this is my name, this is my area of interest. No. Rather, you should just make some of a positive body posture. By the way, that's not part of this curriculum or this teaching, but I'm just giving you some tips here and there, right? So one is verbal, what you speak, and non-verbal is how you speak through your body language. These two are really important when you have something to say. Clear? Yes? Now let's just move to the next. Okay. Now tell me, why someone need to develop the communication skill? Why? Alfred, why do you think that one needs to develop the communication skill, Alfred?
Uh, to convey what we feel, what we think proper,
Excellent.
we need to convey.
Excellent response, Alfred. Excellent response. So I cut short that, whatever Alfred said, I cut short that into a simple term, simple word called express yourself. It's as simple as that. If you want to express yourself in a neat and nice manner, you need to develop your communication skill. Yes or no? It's as simple as that. Correct? If you don't want to express,
Yeah.
be quiet. But the life is designed in such a way that you always wanted to express, you always wanted to communicate, you always wanted to talk to someone, isn't it so? The universe is expressing, and you are communicating with your parents, you're talking to your friends, right? Alfred, being a married person, he needs to express a lot of things to his wife, right? So which means the communications, which means by default, one need to start developing the communication skill. It's not that I will develop my communication skill to get a good job. No. Rather, if you really want to express yourself in a neat and the right way, you have no other option to develop your communication skill, right? For that matter, anybody needs to focus. Clear? Alfred, is that answer is satisfying you, Alfred?
Super, super, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Alfred, if you're not going to express properly to your wife, then you will get this chapati katai.
Definitely,
Yeah?
definitely. I got you.
So you got to, yeah. So you got to really develop your communication to express your love and affection to your
Yes,
wife. Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, that is good. Now let's just get into the very important aspect about when it comes to communication. By the way, let me know if I go too fast or too slow. Okay, because it takes some time to get into the rhythm of the speaker and also the students, particularly in this kind of a remote setup. If it is in-person setup, it's totally a different game. Okay, let me know if I'm going too fast, because I also need to keep in mind about the timing, because I respect your time. Okay, now coming back to the teaching, there are two aspects when it comes for expressing. Again, I would like to toss a question to the students. Any wild guess? Can someone can make any wild guess? What are those two aspects needed for expressing? Now we understood. Yes, if I need to successful in my life, I need to improve my communication. Why I need to do that? Because I need to express myself. Okay, but what do I really need to express? That's $1 million question. If you know this answer, everyone is pakka. Everyone is 100% perfect. They would become perfect in their communication. Yes or no? Okay. Question again, I would like to toss it to the students, Alfred or Atya. I'm just calling out to you guys because you guys are connected in the phone, or other for that matter, any one of the student from the audience. Atya, you can pass your phone if anyone has an answer. I'll not be able to see you guys, but anyone would like to volunteer and say what is really needed to express?
Voice.
Okay, who was that? Alfred, is that you?
Yeah, tone of voice, the pitch.
Okay, tone of voice. Even with a tone of voice, still you can express. Any
Sorry.
other volunteer? But that's a good attempt, Alfred. Thank you for that. Any other volunteer would like to say what is really needed? Yeah, Alfred said tone of the voice. Tone of voice is needed. Of course, there are many other things. Not only the tonality, the voice modulation, as I mentioned, the body language, your posture, the way how you stand and communicate. There are many other things. By the way, I've done a lot of studies and around this communication. So these two aspects, if you know these two answer, the session is done. Any other volunteer from the student from the classroom? Just give a wild guess. That's fine. There's no right or wrong answer. Take a wild guess. Okay, that's fine. The first thing is about for you to express the first and foremost thing that you need to get your thought in your head without getting a thought. Say, for example, by the way, today James is going to be my friend. I'm going to pick you as an example, Alfred. I hope you don't mistake. Mistake me. Okay.
Yeah, sir. Yes.
Okay. So Alfred is a newly married guy. I know him for many years now. Okay. Assume he wants to say something to his lovely wife. Okay. He's calling honey. Assume that Alfred is asking his wife to make biryani. Okay, chicken biryani. That's his favorite. Alfred um, favorite dinner or at the lunch food item. So Alfred, he's driving. He just finished off the work and then he's calling, "Hey, sweetheart, tonight can you just make chicken biryani?" So for Alfred to say, he need to get the thought about chicken biryani. Yes or no?
Yes.
Agreed. It's
Yes.
as simple as
Yes.
that. So anything and everything for you to express, you need to get that thought in your mind. And next is your words. It's as simple as that. For you to, if you get that thought, say for example, now tonight I would like to have chicken biryani. So I'm going to call my wife and going to place the order or the request her to prepare the biryani. So that's a thought. You didn't get the thought to make, say, chapati, or you say pongal or dosa. Rather, your thought is around chicken biryani. So the thought about the chicken biryani is what you got. And for you to express, you need to put the word that, "Hey, sweetheart, I would like to have chicken biryani. Will you be able to make that for me?" That's your word. Though you got the thought, Alfred, what happened? Though you have got the thought, but you're not able to say that through the words. What will happen, Alfred?
Everything will be a mess.
It'll be a super mess, buddy. Correct?
Yeah.
So you need to have the thought and the words. First of all, did you guys understood? Did you guys understood these two important aspects for you to focus on? This is a very simple, basic, rudimentary thing I'm trying to teach you, friends. I'm not I'm not here to put you complex concept, but a simple thought about you need to have thoughts, right thoughts, and words, right words. Is it clear? When you get the right thoughts, when you have right words, you will be able to express properly to the other person next to you or the opposite to you, to the person who are you with whom you are communicating. Now, just to support this point, what I said, Atya, will you be able to express something to somebody in Spanish or German or in Mandarin or any other language? By the way, how many languages you speak, Atya? I'm picking your name, Atya, or Naina for that matter. Naina, I saw you also joined over phone. Naina, how many languages? Yeah, how many languages you speak, Naina? Okay, I couldn't hear you, Naina.
3 to 4.
Okay, 3 to 4 language. What are they?
Kannada, Hindi,
Okay.
English, sometimes Telugu.
Telugu కూడా వచ్చిందా? Okay, good. So Naina speak Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, and also Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, and English. Yeah, so these 4 languages. Will you be able to make one statement in Mandarin language, Naina? Mandarin is the Chinese language, or in Spanish for that matter, or in Japanese for that matter. Will you be able to make one statement, Naina, in Japanese? Will you be able to do that? Naina, I couldn't hear you.
I don't know Japanese.
Okay. Yeah, you'll not be able to do. The reason is, first of all, you don't get the thought in the other language. That is one. And even if you get thought, you don't know any of the words in Japanese or other language, so you'll not be able to speak. If you can understand this one simple slide which talks about the thoughts and the words, you'll be able to master, because this is where I have focused my attention when I start to develop my communication. How do I get the thought in that particular language? Why do I speak different language? So in fact, I took a challenge in learning different language. I learned all by myself. I speak Hindi. I learned Telugu. I picked up Malayalam, and I speak. And of course, English also I picked up myself because I have a different story because I studied in a government school. The simple definition of government school is I will share my own story. You'll be able to understand. So I just instead I put the thoughts. How do I think in English, and how do if I have to speak, and what are the words I would need? Yes, that's where I focused, and I will share my own story as we progress upon. Okay, any question? Are we clear till this point? Can I see your thumbs up, Alfred? Are we clear till this point?
Barrier. Cultural barrier.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, are you guys clear till this point? Alfred, are you clear till this point, Alfred?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I was in thought to raise this question how to get the thought correctly, but you also pointed that one already. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
clear.
I will. Yes, don't worry. I have two steps which I'll be covering in the language barrier. How to get the right thought and how to get the right word, man. If you just go and address this problem, if you dissect these two problems, how do I get the right thoughts in English, and how do I speak the right word? You're done, because that's what I do. That made me to work at different level in corporate. It's CEO, CXO level, all the directors level, vice president level, executive director level, because I used to work really hard on my thinking, my thought process, and the words. Okay. By the way, from here I would like to just slightly twist on the language barrier what we have and how you can break those barriers. Yes. So there are primarily three barriers. You can make some notes as I speak. So primarily there are three barriers. The first one is nothing but your mother tongue influence. Yeah, this is a very big barrier. Okay, your mother tongue could be Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, whatever it could be. If you're trying to speak other than your mother tongue, obviously you'll have your mother tongue influence. Yes. Second is about this internal monologue. Alfred, this is around your question, how to think clearly. Per se, I have not covered this because it's altogether a separate topic. I will need another 1 hour to talk about this. But there is so much internal monologue happens, keep happening in your head. And then because you're not able to express yourself properly. Okay. This is a particularly married person, newly married person will undergo this problem, Alfred. So you got to work on this, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And the third is so important, friends. Third is so important, which is nothing but your low self-confidence. Even though you know things, but there is a big, huge metal ball. You tight your leg, and that is called low self-esteem, and which is making you not to make understand. So these are the language barrier. Yes or no? The third is I'm sure almost all the students who sits in the class will have this third. Yes or no? Low self-confidence. Sir, because of that, I'm not able to speak. I'm not able to raise my question. Though I think that, oh, you know what, that's something I need to ask, but I'm not able to put forth the question. Yes or no? It happens. Yes. I will share some of the tips. So primarily we'll cover the mother tongue influence, and then how you can overcome the low self-confidence. And I have my story to share across, and we will get back into the email drafting part. Okay. Write this down. This is called RWS methodology, ways to overcome your mother tongue influence. By the way, we are not a native English speaking people. What do I mean by that is we have not born in Western countries. We have not born in London. We have not born in Sweden. We have not born in America. We have not born in any other country. It's so-called English-speaking country. We have not born there. Correct? Which means obviously we'll have our mother tongue influence. For you to overcome your mother tongue influence, this methodology called RWS. It's so simple that you need to influence your mother tongue thoughts. Okay. For that, what you need to do is you need to read, allocate some time and read 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You read something in English. When you read, what you're doing is that you are reprogramming your mind with that language. It's as simple as that. Right. You need to allocate some time. The second approach is nothing, but you need to spend some time, 10 minutes, though you're writing your assignment and classwork. That is different. That is different than this so-called this writing. You need to allocate certain time. You need to bring your awareness that I am writing this in English. You have to see that, and you have to spend the 10 minutes, 15 minutes in writing. Because when you're writing your classwork and homework, the problem is that you don't bring too much of your awareness into that. Right? Otherwise, everyone in the classroom study for 10 years, 15 years, 12 years in the college, in your school, you're studying about English. By then, everyone should become master in speaking, but that is not the case. Why? Because we don't put our awareness when we write. And the third is 10 minutes you got to speak. Whatever comes out from your mouth, just speak out in English, by the way. Yes? So this is called RWS method. The more you keep doing it, you'll be able to easily overcome and influence your mother tongue. When I speak, do you think that my thoughts am I getting in my mother tongue Tamil or in English? How do I look like? How do I sound? You can easily say that I am not, now I overcame my mother tongue influence, because all my thoughts are just like that. It just start to happen in English because I have done this RWS exercise for many years, and I overcome. Clear? And the second aspect, the third, right? The third, which is on the ways to overcome low self-confidence. Okay. Before explaining about this, I was sharing about the thoughts and the words. For you to get the thoughts, you need to influence, you need to put some English ingredient. That's why this RWS method comes into picture. And the words, the more words you have, then you'll be able to master. The easiest way to build the self-confidence, at least what I figured out, is that collecting vocabs. It's as simple as that. I have a story how the journey started. I will share that shortly. But this one simple exercise of collecting vocabularies, I tell you what, you will be easily overcome the low self-confidence, and then you'll be able to speak with complete confidence to anybody for that matter. Because in my journey, I used to work with CEOs and directors level, and I speak with complete confidence. Sir, this is what it is. We have this problem. Now we'll not be able to, we happen to meet this roadblocks and impediments. For this to overcome, we need these other aspect to be taken care. I speak in a complete confidence. Why? Because I have collected a lot of vocabulary. Okay, now a story time. How many of you interested to hear a story? Alfred, are you interested to hear a story? Alexa, are you interested?
Very interested.
Are you interested to hear a story?
Yeah, very interested.
Thank you. By the way, are you all learning something today out of this half an hour? Are you able to get some thoughts in and around the communication? By the way, I try to simplify all this learning to the basic. Okay. The story goes like this, and quick time check, it's 10:30 and we plan to finish off in the next 15 minutes or so. This had happened many years ago, I would say 24 years ago, when I was in my college first year. I was sitting like you in one of a classroom. Typically on the first day of your college, what happens? It's so called. Yeah. And by the way, the story of not exuberant, or the story is not about the joy, but the story of humiliation, what I had in my life. In my first year engineering, on the first day of the college, typically what happens is the self-intro. Okay, you got to come in front of the classroom, you got to stand and you got to say, what's your name? What are your hobbies? What's your interest? And what are your parents are? You got to give your self-introduction for 2 to 3 minutes. What are your hobbies? What's your passion? So you got to give the self-introduction. My name starts, my roll number is 4. They called me. I went, stood on the stage, and I could not give my self-introduction. And I literally fumbled. The reason is because I studied in a government school. When I say government school, even the English language is taught in my mother tongue, which is Tamil. And up until my 12th standard, I have not spoken not even one sentence, one statement in my life. It used to be slightly different compared to when you study in matriculation or when you study in a school where you got to mandatorily speak English than in the government school. And I could not speak. I could not give my introduction because I don't know how to frame, because my thoughts, I was not getting my thoughts in English, and I don't know any words, what I will say or how I will give my introduction. One thing I remember that everybody in the classroom, everybody start to do one thing, this one thing, this one thing. They start to laugh. That laugh, it's equivalent to they were saying me, hey, Arun, you're a loser, dude. Dude, you're a loser. The laugh was quite humiliating for me. Even when I think of those moments, those days, and I used to really feel, low, because those are not good happy moments. And they said, hey, Arun, you're a loser, dude. And when I think of that moment, still I feel a little bit emotional because it's close to my heart. Friends, if you have pen and paper, write this down. This philosophy, this is something really, really changed my life. And it goes like this. It's not about what happens. I repeat, it's not about what happens. It's all about what you do. Okay, I repeat the philosophy one more time. I need a volunteer who can read that out for me. Alfred or Atya, you can read that out for me. And I repeat, I'm going to repeat the philosophy. It's not about what happens to you. It's all about what you do. Yes, Satya, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
It's not about what happens. It's all about what we do.
Exactly. Guys, this one philosophy was so impactful. On the day, what I did, I came that evening. That incident just had a huge impact on me. While I was having a sip of coffee, I was tea. I was having tea. By the way, they provide tea in the hostel. I was having my tea, and I was just thinking, how do I? Okay, does that happen? But what is it I need to do? What is it I got to do to overcome this? And apparently, my roommate, his name is Saranan, and he's also from a Tamil media. In fact, yeah, he's also not proficient. He was having a Lifco dictionary. If you know Lifco dictionary, he was having that, and apparently I was not having the dictionary. So I requested him, hey Sarana, hey buddy, can you just give me your dictionary? I would like to learn something. And what I did, I'm just cutting short the story. I started just collecting vocabulary in 1990. 1998 is where I was in my first year engineering. I started to write this. I started to collect vocabulary, the words, every day 3 words, every day 5 words, every day 10 words. I started collecting that every now and then, every day without missing. And these are I'm going to show you those words which I was collecting, roughly 20. 5 years ago. And these are the real paper. If I'm in person, I would show you the real paper. You can touch and see the so-called the smell, the old smell of the paper. Okay. You see here, 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 you see here. Can you see the date somewhere? It shows us 2002. Can you guys see somewhere on the last page, 2002? I don't know whether it's visible or not. By the way, these are the words I was collecting from 1998 to 2002, which is roughly 23 years ago. And you know what? I've crossed 5,000 vocabularies during my college days. And I feel that was a big achievement for me, which means I did something to overcome the low self-confidence. And this is what the beauty is. In the college final year, they want someone to do the master of ceremony, to do the MC. The college secretary, he called me, hey Arun, we have this college annual day, which means every other department, every other year, I mean, all the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and including MSc, MBA, everybody, more than, I would say, even in a department has 200 plus, so close to some 1,500 to 2,000, including the parent, there were 2,000 people were there in the college. It's a big open auditorium. And I was doing the master of ceremony. And the people who said, loser, Arun, you're a loser. And they were saying, Arun, you did something remarkable in your life. And the story did not stop there. That was my first stepping stone to overcome my so-called low self-confidence. And I changed my thinking. Totally changed my thought process. And I changed the words, what I was using. And did I stop with that? Absolutely no. And the journey is still continuing. By the way, hope you can see these papers. You see there are a bunch of papers. Okay, hope you can see. You see there are a lot of papers, a lot of works. Still, I am continuing this. The dates, I don't know whether I can show the dates closely, but yeah, these are the words which I'm collecting. I mean, even now I'm collecting, and I've crossed 25,000 vocabulary words, friends. And now people call me as a winner. And I want others to call each and every one of you as a winner. Okay. Well, so I said the other question at Atya or Naina was, I asked the question that Atya wants to become a successful person. Did I stop with that? And what was the outcome of my communication or the effort what I put was, I was able to work with various national. And by the way, you see this gentleman, and this was when I went to Singapore for a workshop. And this is me here, people from Thailand and from Singapore, Malaysia. They came for a workshop, and he was one of my boss. And this is for one of a client I used to work with last year. And you see here, this guy in the red hoodie jacket, this is the last guy, that is me. And these are my clients with whom I used to work, or rather, I was managing a project along with them where I was running that project, taking the inputs from all of them. And do you think it's a simple task to work with the top-notch people, someone coming from a government school?
No.
That's where I wanted to tell you, you can rewrite your complete story. You can completely rewrite that story. And did that stop with that? Absolutely no. And that the so-called the effort what I put to improve my communication. My boss used to call me, hey Arun, you know what? We got a presentation, we got a proposal. I want you to go to Singapore, do this workshop and come. Hey, you know what? We have a project coming. Will you be able to just go and do the presentation? Hey, you know what? We have a client coming. Will you be able to do the presentation? We have to do the on the floor presentation. Will you be able to do that? Anything and everything. I used to raise my hand, and that just made me to travel around the world, friends. And by the way, it's not a simple thing. And I want you also to work with different national like this, what you see on your screen, and also to travel around the world like this. By the way, I just put only few pics. I could make a 10 slides like this. I need a volunteer who can read the last part on your presentation. Remember, starts with remember.
Remember, the hard work what you put in will never goes in vain.
Thank you so much. Was it Alexa? Yeah, thank you. Thank you
And
so
also, you to travel to different countries as well.
Yeah.
Remember, the hard work what you put in will never goes in vain.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for volunteering. That's what I wanted to tell you. By the way, this is not a motivational seminar to motivate you guys, but the importance of communication, the basic rudimentary thing, what you need when it comes to communication, and how I have done and what is the outcome. And now I run meetings with 50 plus people, clients, American, every other people from different countries, where I used to run a demo and I speak with complete confidence, friends. That is the importance of communication. And I've taught you the simple way how you can master it. Okay. Arun, collecting vocabularies and writing, spending that RWS, is that what you did? Absolutely no. You want to know what are the other things I've done? I've done 15 different other things to improve. I'm just going to list down all that quickly and we'll get into the email writing part, which is the last section. I used to talk in front of mirror. So if you really wanted to work on your communication, you can pick up any one of this, you can talk in front of standing mirror. And I started writing stories on my own about that particular event. I used to write journaling, and you know what, that just made me to have, I have half a dozen different journaling books you see here, and there are 4 more books on my table. I started to do journaling even now. Okay. And I used to allocate some time to read newspaper every day during college days. That's a RWS, what I said. Yeah. And then I took part in a various state level technical presentation. I used to go to different cities in the state and go and do a presentation, because just to overcome my stage fear. And I learned a lot of idioms and phrases. By the way, I'm not using all those bombastic words and idiom phrases, because my communication, I would like to keep it very simple, neat, and clean. But I know many idioms and word phrases. I use that when I do the written communication. And I studied about the root words, the word par made easy. If you are really interested, I can show you the book. So this is the book I studied during my college days. Yeah, called Word Par Made Easy by Norman Lewis. It's such a beautiful book. And once you finish reading that book, it's a quite it's quite big book. Huh? I read it twice. It's a good book. Yeah. Um, that just helped me to identify the root words. And then I moderated English. I started sharing vocabularies. You also can pick that up in your first year. One can just build that interest and do the moderation. Yeah. And then I joined Toastmasters speaking club. I finished competent communicator, and also I finished competent leader course as well. And then took part in club level, different district level speech competition, where I used to go and give speech competition, take part in giving different speeches. And I initiated the WOW Word of the Week, and sharing across in my organization. It goes to thousands of my fellow colleagues. And I started out in various seminars as well, all these general seminars, just to improve my communication. And I followed many international how they speak, what are they more, the tonality, what is the body language. So I started including TEDx talk I used to listen, and then I started to collect vocabulary, which I showed you. Still, it's continuing, more than 25,000 words, and I'm feeling, and it's not going to stop till my last breath. So, and then I took various of the advanced communication from I have a mentor, by the way. His name is Mr. Ron. He's from Australia, and I took up some course with him to improve my communication. And this is he. He's Mr. Ron. He based out in Australia. He's my coach. I used to go and learn from him various other aspects. Okay, so this is the last part when it comes to the learning objective, email drafting approach. Okay, are you guys learning so far? Are you guys learning something so far? This last 45 minutes, are you learning something useful. Can I see your thumbs up, guys? Yeah, that's nice. Okay. So as part of this objective, the learning objective, there are two things, the email drafting approach. I would like to quickly touch base this, and this is the last part, and then we'll take a quick 5 minutes water break after this. Yeah. So there are two email drafting approach. This is a new concept I would like to teach to you. Make some notes. This may not be applicable or may not become effective, useful to you at this point, but when you get into your job, this will come into play. So make a note. One is called effective mail, focusing on what you need to convey. Second is called efficient mail, focusing on how you will convey that information. Don't worry, I have a sample. Feel free to take a screenshot, Alexa, if you're accessing in front of the laptop, feel free to take the screenshot of the example what I show. Okay. In the effective mail, when you focus on when it comes to the communication, so we talked about the oral, and then this is where your written communication comes into picture. Yeah. So you need to focus on the main context, what you need to convey. Correct? If you wanted to explain about how to make sambar, how to build, how to construct a boat. So when you want to explain about how to construct a boat, you can't explain about how to mend or rather fix the flat tire, correct? So you got to focus on the main context, which is the what. And efficient is nothing but how you will see it. Okay, the formatting, the alignment, highlighting. I will show you example how this effective and efficient comes into picture. So you can take the screenshot of this, Alexa. Yeah, anyone who had joined, feel free to take a screenshot of this. So by the way, this is just I put some example. I typed this. You see, for this banking application, payment page recommend clarification, right? So you're explaining greetings. I could ask someone to read it, but considering the echo, I'm just reading it out. You know what? This is Raj, project manager. I'm writing to seek some clarification regarding the payment page recommend for our banking application. As we move forward with the development process, it's crucial to ensure that we have finalized all the recommends. So, may I request if you can provide more detailed information on the specific functionalities and feature that need to be included on the payment page. Additionally, it would be helpful to know if there are any particular design or user experience consideration we should keep in mind. Understanding these recommended in detail will enable us to create an efficient and user-friendly payment page. So all these line, the words if you see, I'm talking about this banking application payment page recommend, correct? I'm not saying anything other than the payment page recommend. Yes or no? So this is called your effective mail. Take an example of this. I mean, take a screenshot of this. See what you want to ask. Okay, efficient. You see here, there are certain things I've highlighted in gray color. There is something I've underlined. I put something in italic, and I put something in yellow color. And then you see the last line, I'm just bold some words. So this is called your efficient mail communication. Alfred, this is where you need to focus, Alfred.
Yes, yes, sir.
Because you see this formatting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen you mail, but in my team member, if you happen to work with me or be part of my project, I used to give a lot of tips to my team members. Hey, you know what, this year you need to do this formatting, because I used to attend various other communication workshop to improve my vocal and also written. Okay, you can, at least for now, you can be aware of, okay, there are two types, one is effective and one is efficient, but you may not be, you can apply that wherever it's applicable, maybe for your project assignment, submission, or any other mail writing, you can apply these two. Okay. Right. Closing thought, and then we'll finish off with a so-called assignment. I have some assignment which I like to give to you. People say communication is a skill you need to develop, you need to develop, you need to develop. But I would like to slightly make that statement reverse. By the way, we are born communicator. You started to communicate with your mom even before you came to the world, isn't it? When you were in your mother's womb, you were started communicating. I remember my daughter, when I come from a home or from a office, my daughter, when she's in the 4 months or 5 months or 6 months, roughly during that time, when she heard the horn sound, you know what? She started making some movement. Oh yeah, dad had come. She listened to the steps and she makes a movement, which means you were already communicating. Only thing you need to master it. For mastering, the only key is practice, practice, practice. That's the only key. Nothing else. If you keep doing it, you will master your communication. Okay, this is the last slide. The action. Okay, when it comes to the learning objective, to improve verbal and written skill. That was the objective given to me as part of this. Question to you. Did you learn something from today's session to meet the learning objective? Did you get some tip how you can speak and how you can write? Can I see some thumbs up, or can I have some audio response? Students, Atya, Naina, Alfred, you want to say, yeah, we learned something today?
We learned many things today, not something.
Okay. Okay,
First point.
thank you, Alfred. Yeah. By the way, more goes into more. You need to apply more to reap the benefit. Okay, and the learning activity, it's for the students. Student, you need to write effective mail asking for a recommend for an insurance project about claim submission process. That's an assignment for you, which you'll have to work in the next week. How you will write effective mail covering this recommend for insurance project. Take the screenshot and I can send this to Alexa as well. And the second assignment is that you will write efficient mail. For what? Additional specification. You're going to construct a college auditorium. Okay. You will ask for that additional specification. What would be the area? How many? What is the capacity? Which side the screen or the dice has to come. So you need to ask all that information in an efficient manner. Okay, because this is just to test your learning. Okay, so Alexa, I will send you this screenshot. So this will be the assignment for the students for the next week they can work. Okay, so what did we learn today? So we learned about two forms of communication, verbal and non-verbal. We learned about the thoughts and the word, why you need for you to express. Okay, we saw three communication barrier: mother tongue influence, internal monologue, and then low self-confidence. And we talked about the tips to overcome is for your mother tongue influence, you need to do RWS: reading, writing, speaking, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes you can do. And then for your low self-confidence, I have used a method of collecting vocabularies. You can choose whatever you want. Okay. And then real life example, I shared my story, the so-called the story of humiliation and how I overcame that. And then I shared something about the email drafting tips, effective, efficient, and also the closing thought. Closing thought is that it's nothing but your, it's not a skill more than it's an art. So for you need to master, you need to practice, 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 practice. And then we talked about the learning objective as well. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover as part of this this communication aspect. Let me stop the recording and better let's go. Okay, yeah, so pass. Oh yeah, here we go.